Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmad Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. The ICC World Test Championship is now something of great focus. Australia facing South Africa. Who is going to be crowned the champions of Test cricket? Only time will tell. But it's an interesting competition when you talk about both these teams as well. And in the conditions of the home of cricket in England, it's going to be very, very exciting. One thing is for sure that we are hoping for a very, very high intensity and exciting final. And we're all very hopeful that we see some competitive action as well. After that, we're going to be talking about the ICC rankings as well. We'll give you all the details as well of the International Cricket Council's rankings for T20 cricket. And of course, no Pakistan in the top 10, so that is a bit strange as well. But then again, obviously we've had a very, very horrible last 1.5 years for white ball cricket, and now hopefully things will improve. So we'll talk about all the news surrounding Pakistan cricket as well. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, joining us in studios is national cricket commentator, broadcaster, presenter, our sports expert and fellow anchor Asif Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Also joining us is first-class cricketer and cricket expert Kashif Majeed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you, Ahmad. Perfectly all right.
Thank you for joining us. Asif Ahmad, as a fan of Test cricket, are you excited now for the final, and what are you looking forward to?
Well, definitely we would love to watch a sensational final match of the World Test Championship, but the problem is that this is Australia. If you see their stats, that from last 3-4 years they've been playing amazing cricket, especially when we talk about Test cricket, and they're the defending champions as well. South Africa, very first time they've qualified for the final, though they played very good cricket, but last 5 Test matches, if you see the stats of both of the sides, that Australia won 2 and same the South Africa won twice, and 1 match has been drawn. So South Africa will definitely try to win this match, and they will try to get a ICC win for the very first time. They lost in T20 World Cup final against India in the last moments, where Jasprit Bumrah bowled a stunning last spell. But when we talk about this Test cricket, see that Australia, they have a very strong side. If you see their fast bowlers, if you see their batters, and it's a complete side. On the other side, South Africa, though Aiden Markram, he's in good touch, but you can't say that he is a lone warrior or he could do something extraordinary. Rabada, yes, another very good fast bowler. But on the other side, when you see the opposition, Australian, they have numbers of players who could do miracle on the given day. And Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins, talk about their batters, talk about their spinners. They have a proper spinner, and that is the missing lead of South Africa, that they do not have a proper Test spinner. Keshav Maharaj, the British MC, they're very good in white ball cricket, but when we talk about red ball cricket, they're missing a proper special spinner. So the win probability, if you'll ask me, that I'll go 30% for South Africa and 70% for Australia.
Well, very cruel to your great cousin Temba Bavuma. I'm sure he's not going to
I'm sorry, Bavuma, I'm with you.
But obviously statistical analysis does say that Australia tends to choke sides when it comes to a final. That's what they love to do. But obviously, both have had different roads to the final as well, Kashif Majeed.
I guess when we talk about South Africa's road to the final is primarily playing in their own backyard, and we've seen they've been quite phenomenal playing in their own backyard, with their fast bowlers doing the bulk of the damage and the batters just going and playing at 4 or 5 runs per over, because at times the pitches are unplayable, primarily due to the excess of grass and the green grass and liveliness on it. But when we talk about Australia, they've been all around the globe reaching to the final. They've been Asia, they've played cricket in Europe, and they played in their own backyard, and they performed really well, exceptionally well. And this is where they've got the advantage of playing again an away Test match in Lords against South Africa. So most probably things are pretty settled for Australia. But when it comes to see South African side, they've got a pretty good bowling attack, and they've got a good all-rounder in Marco Jansen, and most probably if they allow Corbin Bosch to be there, then he can be a quality all-rounder. They've got a good spinner, they've got a good batting lineup. So maybe it's test of nerves, and as soon as I said this sentence, test of nerves, ultimately I tilt towards Australia, because when it comes to the nerves, they've been a classical example of holding out nerves. They've been there in India and Ahmedabad, they outclass them in their own backyard. So most probably when it comes to playing the finals, it's Australia's always favorite. They haven't lost many finals in their history, and this is one of them. But all my heart is with South Africa. Maybe they came up victorious on those occasions, and we can see an ICC event going their way. Let's hope.
Well, we hope for that as well. But South Africa, for far too long, I think, would consider themselves unlucky in ICC tournaments. But this might just be the case of redemption. But history is on the cruel side of it as well. Asif Ahmad, when we think about Australia, yes, they're a dominant side. Talk about South Africa, tag of Joker still there. But still, do you believe that there is enough competition in those ranks, or the squad that has been announced as well?
Ahmad, if you see the squad, see that the Australian squad is very strong. One is Labuschagne, then they have Steven Smith, Travis Head,
the dangerous Travis.
The Head. Travis Head, yeah, the dangerous Travis Head. And then Usman Khaja, Cameron Green, Josh Inglis, Alex Carey, and then in the middle order and then late orders, Pat Cummins with the bat, with the ball, he's phenomenal as a skipper. On the other side, and then they have, as I said, that the proper off spinner, and that is Nathan Lyon. And then if you see the South African squad, Aiden Markram, as I said earlier, then Timba Bavuma, though they have Tony D. Zorzi, but you see he's a new guy. He played some couple of good innings, but then Corbin Bosch, Marco Jansen, and then Ryan Rickleton. Yes, he's also a good prospect. But you know that you're playing the final of World Test Championship. Kashif Majeed, I like him in white ball cricket. He didn't impress so much in red ball cricket. But when you are playing big game, when you're playing final of the World Test Championship for the very first time, so definitely the South African side, their players, they will try their best, and they will try to win this final match of World Test Championship. But very, very tough match for the South Africa. And when we see that the Australian side, all of them, they are in good touch. All of their players, they're performing well. Even we discussed yesterday that they were out of their premier players in the ICC Champions Trophy, 6-7 players were not there. But even then, they've qualified for the semis. And Josh Inglis, the way he played, and this is what we have discussed yesterday, that they have a very, very good bench strength, and they're playing the World Test Championship finals. They are the defending champions. So if you see both of the squads, once again, I'll go with the Australia. Prayers with the South Africa, but definitely, you know that when we talk about this is cricket, and if you'll play with the 100% skills, if you'll come up, as Kashif Bhai was talking about, their strong nerves, that's the big difference between South Africa and Australia.
Well, that difference really matters, but on that given day, it's going to be, in those conditions, Asif, very important to take 20 wickets. Certainly, Australia have that capability, but for far too long, they've really relied on that late charge by Travis Head. That has given them momentum with Alex Carey and Travis Head doing something like that. Marnus Labuschagne has been in and out of form recently. He's struggled as well. If South Africa managed to pick up early wickets, do they have that dent in them to trouble those batters?
Well, I don't think so, because they have only, yes, Marco Jansen is a very good all-rounder, but when you see that Kagiso Rabada and Lungi Ngidi, Kagiso Rabada, I could say that the only warrior, yes, he has an ability to take 5-6 wickets in an innings. But when you see the batting lineup, as you said, Ahmed, Alex Carey in the middle order, he's a proper batter. After Adam Gilchrist, they got a proper wicketkeeper batter. When you talk about the white ball cricket, he plays with an aggression, and when we talk about red ball cricket, he comes up with proper technique. He spends time over the pitch, and he could do anything in difficult times. And Pat Cummins. So I think that Australia have a very strong batting lineup, and it's not easy for the South Africa with 2 fast bowlers and 1 spinner that they could do miracle. On the other side, Australia have proper fast bowlers, Mitchell Stark. The Cameron Green is a very lively personality. I always like him because you know that he doesn't take pressure. You were talking about the pressure, that will handle the pressure. So Australia have the ability to handle the pressure. And I don't think so that the Kagiso Rabada, Lungi Nagiti and Keshav Maharaj has that capability to take 20 wickets and won the match.
Well, once again, I do believe that Australia's bowling is very, very lethal. I mean, talk about Pat Cummins, he's got to be amongst the best test bowlers that we see right now, and that ability that they bang, and you know, that ability to rotate himself, sometimes coming on the first change, not even utilizing the new ball, is the diversity that this Australian squad, you know, has evolved around as well. But you know, post Pat Cummins is going to be a very interesting phase for them as well. But Kashif Majeed, when we realize the potential of Pat Cummins as a skipper, he's just been phenomenal for Cricket Australia. Remember, he took over captaincy at a very, very I would say down moment for Australia, and a very difficult moment for Cricket Australia, when a lot of scandals were in the air from Tim Paine as well.
The colour-eyed, smiling assassin. He's always there. He's always there. You know, bowling the new ball, bowling at the first change, even at the second change. Even there with Glenn Maxwell. Just recently we were going through all those highlights of Glenn Maxwell's double century against Afghanistan. He was again a smiling assassin at the other end, doing nothing but still coping up with it 60, 70 balls, and staying not out at the other end, and again pushing the limits of Glenn Maxwell. So he knows how to use and how to utilize every possible asset he has got in his team, and this is where he's so special. And fast bowlers often make very good captains. He is among very best we have got in the cricket. Second important thing when we talk about Cummins, the team supports him. He is the leader for them, and he actually creates leader within the team. You know, he allows Travis Head to go and play his heart out. He asked Steve Smith to do whatever he wanted to do, and then making subtle changes in the top of the order. The openers can be switched, the one down can be an opener, the opener can be a middle order batsman. He has got so many ideas in his bag of tricks. So most probably he is a complete package for Australia as a leader, as a captain, as an all-rounder for me. Everybody can look to him, and bowling alongside Mitchell Stark and Josh Hazlewood is just not easy, but he manages himself, and he put his team before him. That is exceptionally well, and let's hope Temba Bavuma, the opposition's captain in the final, can match the charisma of Pat Cummins, because it's very important. It's a battle of nerves. It's a battle of the captain's nerves, and most probably Pat Cummins is doing that for quite some time now. It's Bamuma's take to grab this opportunity and come up with a very, very big event for very, very big event for South Africa, winning an ICC trophy. So Temba Bamuma versus Pat Cummins, I still believe Cummins has got an edge.
Absolutely, and the numbers speak for themselves as well. 101 test matches between these two nations of South Africa and Australia. Australia winning 54, South Africa winning only 26. 21 matches ended in a draw. Home wins for Australia 23, 16 for South Africa. Away wins 29 for Australia, only 10 for South Africa, but we'll consider this a neutral venue. So 10, overall 2 neutral wins for Australia in this campaign, and none for South Africa. So the numbers speak for themselves, but nonetheless, I think it's a very, very interesting final, and all of us are very excited. Now, of course, we move our focus to Pakistan cricket. Rankings are out, no Pakistani in the top 10. And I think, Asif Ahmad, it has a lot to do with the past couple of years that have been there for Pakistan cricket ever since that T20 World Cup loss in USA.
Well, not only that we lost T20 World Cup, but we lost right before that we have lost the ODI World Cup, and the poor performances in the World Test Championship. So definitely your players are not performing well, and that's why they're not in the ranking. That's not the first time that we haven't seen any player of the Pakistan who is not in the ranking. That it happened before as well. But the problem is that why we are not learning with the mistakes, and why we're not getting some positive vibes that yes, we could do, yes, we'll reach there, and we'll beat each and every team in the world. So Ahmad, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, they remain in the ranking because of course they aren't playing T20 cricket, and Pakistan have dropped them, and the reason of their exclusion, that was quite obvious, and we understand that Pakistan Cricket Board has taken a good decision. And now the onus is on the new players like Syed Ayub, like Sahibzada Farhan, Hassan Nawaz, that you have plenty of space now. Do something extraordinary. You guys have started very well, especially Syed Ayub. You know that after 15, 16 failures, the way he got the charge, the way he came up with a positivity, I think it's remarkable. Same with the Hassan Nawaz that we have discussed so many times, that his technique is not a good technique for international cricket, but he's improving. The good thing is, I do not see this kind of aptitude in Pakistani players to learn with the mistakes. But Hassan Nawaz is doing something extraordinary, that in the last T20, I enjoyed the way he was playing over the bowler's head. So these players could be good, and in the fast bowling department, Wasim Jr. and Abbas Afridi, they're good prospects. And in upcoming years, I'm quite sure that the Pakistani players, they will make place in ICC rankings.
You know, rankings are always important when it comes to personal milestone. But Kashif, there have been a lot of problems surrounding Pakistan cricket. One of them have been not only the players have been in and out of the team, but the inconsistency with the management as well. People have come and have gone from Pakistan cricket in a flash.
And those people come back in a flash too.
Yes.
So it's quite the same for us. It's always been a musical chair going on in Pakistan Cricket Board. When we talk about all those things, we haven't found a single new name in the last 4 or 5 years. They've always been rotation. There always been musical chair going on, one going on, one a person leaving and the next one coming in. Then again the comeback of the previous person. I simply believe that it's important for the players to stay focused on their performance, and that is it. It's just not easy saying that, because every now and then we witness a change in the mentality, a change in the strategy, and change in the complexion of the team. Often we found out that there is a fast bowler, all-rounder is a basic requirement which is missing. Then we found out that we wanted a right-arm leg spinner who can bat in the middle order. Then where the focus is shifted on the fitness of the team, and then we found out a very fine-tuned wicketkeeper batter in back of the stumps, who cannot be judged on his fitness, but because of his expertise of hitting the ball long. So there is always
only in the nets.
Yes, only he has performed to some extent on those franchises, but those performances have been multiplied by number of factors. Maybe because his uncle and his father is part of Pakistan Cricket Board. Maybe because he has got a certain social media context. We've been talking about him, but recent past the performances they were based on every now and then feel that you have to have a certain basic criteria of fitness to perform at certain
But
level.
that should be same for everyone, Kashif. For one person it's different, for the other person it's different. That's what I don't understand. And sometimes it's also the mantra that don't push them to an extent where their bodies start breaking. That's also concerning now.
We have to consult then the professionals, Ahmad. Every person's body has a different attributes, the characteristics of body are different, the bearing power of pain or all those things have been different, and we, as you mentioned yourself, that everyone has to be treated differently when it comes to physical fitness. But when we talk about Azam Khan, you cannot argue that he was the super unfit player of Pakistani lineup at the precise moment where everybody was talking about the fitness standards, and he was given a green card because he can hit the ball long and he can play spinner's wind. And I'm not sure why that green signal came to him or his side. Why we were not thinking of future, and why he himself was not thinking of coming up with an answer to so many critics. It's just not about pasting certain stickers on your wall or in your room. It's it's about making struggle to logically become fit and play cricket. It's just one case, and there are a number of other cases. But right now, when we talk about the captaincy is a very sound hands of Salman Ali Agha. We talk about the top order. Yes, they're performing very well, but they've performed very well in just 3 matches against the Bangladesh team, which is only they've just lost to UAE. So it's just not easy. Take marking all those weaker areas for Pakistan that they've overcome this. Most probably the next test when we were out there in Australia or UK or South Africa, that is where we can define that we have got a strong top order. But right now things are looking good, and one thing is to show that the change in the mentality, the change in the mental shift is quite eminent, and it's quite good.
Absolutely. Kashif Ahmad, have you ever gotten a chance to ask that so-called chief selector of that era, Wahab Riaz, on why, on what criteria was Azam Khan brought into the side when they rested Mohammad Haris?
Well, I have asked this question to Mohammad Wasim, and by the way, on that time, Mohammad Wasim was the chief selector, and I was in the com box in the Gaddafi Stadium. The Qaid-e-Azam Trophies match was going on, and he came inside and he said that I have heard your analysis, and I do not agree that you said that we are picking guys from the Pakistan Super League. Give me an example. I've replied that Haris Rauf. He said, apart from him. I said, Azam Khan. He said, no. He performed so well during the National T20 Cup. So I asked the next question, that what about the rest of the guys like Kamran Ghulam, who performed so well for 2-3 years and he didn't get a chance? Why Azam is getting chance after performing even 1 year? And he said that might be that then you have some personal problem with you. I said, okay, thank you very much. This is your, I don't want to go into the arguments because I'm sitting in the com box and you're asking me this question. That's why I said, guys, when you talk about the fitness issue, Ahmad, your friend, one of your best friend, Babar Azam didn't allow Pakistan Cricket Board to go for the fitness test for 2-3 years. Is that correct?
But who was Babar Azam to not allow Pakistan Cricket Board? Who's bigger, Pakistan Cricket Board or Babar Azam?
On that time, Babar Azam was bigger, to be honest.
Can I allow PTV to not, furbish its rules? I can.
Well, see, Ahmed, this is the problem. Apart from joke, see, if you are a captain, if you have a strong captain, and you're not going into, this is what I have heard from you, of course, that
means it wasn't a strong captain, it was a very weak PCB. Doesn't mean it's a strong captain.
Well, let's put in this way. Yeah, let's put in this way, but the criteria of the selection should be on the merit and on the fitness, and the Pakistan Cricket Board, now I'm quite sure that they're working.
I mean, the last guy who made fitness prime criteria to join Pakistan cricket was Misbah-ul Haq. He was criticized, but he said, I'll ignore players even if they score 200s but are not fit for the team. And we have our disagreements with Misbah-ul Haq, but I think that criteria should have been implemented with letter and spirit.
Yes, I appreciate that, because he was super fit. He was playing in the age of 44. He retired in the age of 43, 44, and he played test cricket. So I think that's the best thing. If you're talking about the player's fitness, if you're talking about that it should be the criteria. So everybody support you. And after Azam Khan's case, see, in his performance in the last PSLX, he was extremely poor behind the stumps, not only with the bat, but behind the stumps. And that's why Islamabad United even dropped Azam Khan.
But it took a while for them to understand that. I'm surprised they didn't figure it out early on.
Well, and Kashif Majeed already said, uncle and his father, of course, they're in the PCB. His uncle is in the PCB, and big names, especially Moin Khan. And that's
his uncle was in the dugout of Multan Sultans this PSL. There are links all around. But my
you're opening Pandora box now.
No, but my bone of contention is that whole move from Quetta Gladiators to Islamabad United was very thought of. They realized Islamabad is missing a wicket-keeper batter. Let's just, send him there. Quetta is going to be too much of a baggage to carry with his father in the dugout, him playing. We don't have any personal issue, but I think it just sets a bad precedent for youngsters coming up to Pakistan cricket.
Well, Ahmad, see that, as you said, that we do not have personal issues. But whenever you talk about the fitness criteria, when you talk about some specific players' performances, people, they start abusing you over the social media. And they think that we're just sitting over the TV and we have an agenda. We do not have an agenda. We have only one. We're working on just one agenda, that we want the betterment of Pakistan cricket. That's it. Kashif bhai, the issue is that if we do not have any place in the ICC ranking, don't you think it reflects in the previous couple of years the players were playing selfish cricket? It's my question for both of you guys.
I guess if they've been playing selfish cricket, they should have been in the top 10. It's quite similar to all those guys who think that their batting or their bowling is much more important than winning matches. So most probably this is where there've been cases of some players winning the man of the match, winning certain awards from ICC, but still not Pakistan still ending up on the losing side. My question or my theory for that is recently we haven't played good cricket, and all those guys who have been performing well just lost their form. For instance, let's talk about the name of Babar Azam. He was there at the top of the tree when it comes to ICC rankings in ODI and T20. He just lost his form, and just not form. There was so many things happening around him when it comes to PCB's decision of sacking him as a captain and then making him the captain. There was so much going around. He just lost his focus on his batting and he stopped scoring those runs. So he's at number 13, I guess, and so does Rizwan. A lot happened again, around him in Pakistan Cricket Board and Pakistan team. He just lost his form. And apart from these two, we haven't got any batter who has performed exceptionally well or have been part of the Pakistani lineup for quite some time. These rankings are based on performances over the course of 1 year or certain months. But recently we have, in the last couple of years, we have tried and tested 36 different combinations as an opener, opening combination. So we cannot argue, the performances on the basis that they've been there in the Pakistani lineup for around 12 months and they haven't performed. Nobody's in the Pakistani lineup is there for around 12 months, so they haven't performed. And most probably now we are entering in that era where we think that things going to calm down, or most probably this is what we wanted from our team. I still believe this is not the answers to the solutions, because we'll be playing in Australia, we'll be playing in New Zealand and South Africa. Do our batters have got those technical abilities to cope up with the bounce and the swing and the seam movement there? Our mantra of showing intent, going and playing your heart out, can that be defined, or can that be the right mantra in those conditions? So there is still number of questions to be asked. But yes, the intent factor or the captaincy, it's just there. Most probably, the credit should go where it is due, and right now Salman Ali Agha is doing a good job.
Absolutely, and I think he's the kind of captain that Pakistan need at the moment, because Asif Ahmad, in all of this midst, the most important thing was to get the team together and have that united mentality of winning as well.
Well, that is really important, and unity is the key, and Pakistan team was missing that. Even, that if we talk about the captaincy of Salman Ali Agha, we have watched him against New Zealand and Bangladesh, that he enjoys. And the good thing is that he knows that how to gather the player, because he remained with Rizwan, he remained with Babar Azam, and during Babar Azam's regime, we had some problems, and I think that the newly appointed coach is working on that as well, because it was written on the wall that the team wasn't united, and Gary Kristen said clearly that the even players, they do not go for the shake hands even in the dressing room. So in this environment, you cannot win ICC, even you cannot win the club match if you're not united, if you're not on the same page. But see, it's quite dejected for me, Ahmad, that you're playing for the nation and you're representing the green flags, you're wearing green shirts. You should be united under one flag, and that is Pakistan, of course. And if you're not doing this, And then I'll come to that point that the Pakistanis nowadays, the Pakistani players, they don't look at what's happening with the Pakistan cricket. They just follow that what is going on with their stats. And we'll take this example once again, a super example, golden example, what Glenn Maxwell said rightly, that I don't want to be a selfish player and this is the right time to take decision, and that's why I'm taking retirement from the ODI cricket. And he said clearly that I'm not selfish. What does it mean? That it reflects that in cricket, not only in Pakistan, but in other countries, some players, they used to be selfish for their stats, for their personal milestones. And what he said clearly, I'm a big fan of his statement.
Well, obviously, you are mostly fans of people who give good statements. I know that for a fact. But, you know, at the same time as well, we also need to understand that nobody's bigger than the game. If Salman is a great captain and you've got big names around him, keep him as the captain. You know, there are lobbies that still exist, Asif Ahmad, unfortunately.
Aren't you sure that he'll be the captain for the upcoming ICC events?
No, I am. I want him to be. But I don't want, you know, lobbies to keep doing what they've done.
Well, these lobbies have destroyed each and everything. You know, not only in cricket. Why we are sitting, we're just talking about cricket, but being nation, tell me that what's going on. That not only in cricket but other departments, these lobbying, they just want their personal milestones, they want their personal issues, and they do not want you know, success. They just want that me. They don't want.
Because I've been told, rumors have it, he might be captain for all 3 formats.
Yes, this is what I've read over the X as well, that some people are writing. It's not sure, but let's suppose if Pakistan Cricket Board will take this decision, tell me that we had a captain for the 3 formats, that was Babar Azam, and are we going and it could be a good move, or you think that?
I think it's a great, knowing Salman Ali, I think it's a great move. Kashif Majeed, what's your thought? Is it a good move for all 3 formats?
It is a good cricketing move, but I'm not sure how this move can be digested by number of people around in Pakistan, in the media industry, in the cricket board, because Salman Ali Agha is a player who's a very likely chap, you can say, and he's always there making cracking jokes, making fun of himself even. But this type of character with the bureaucracy in the Pakistan Cricket Board, I'm not sure it is it can be a long survival candidate for the captain. I'm not sure, but when it comes to cricketing move, it's a very good cricketing move, and he should be the captain, because when we talk about T20 and one day, he's always there. He performed exceptionally well. Test cricket, he has to replace someone who is also struggling for form, and when we talk about Test cricket, we are playing just 2 or 3 Test matches in a year, and we have a captain who is not playing any sort of cricket, and he's just waiting for Test cricket to happen for Pakistan. And you know, at times when you are not part of the dugout or the dressing room for so long, you missed out on so many things, and this is what exactly going to happen with Shan Masood, because he's not part of Pakistani dugout or Pakistani dressing room for so long, because he's not part of one day or T20. He can miss out on so many little variables a player is going through, or the cricket is moving on, or even in the dress, the different chats going on in dressing room. So most probably this is where I believe someone who is capable to play all 3 formats is a player who can be a leader in all 3 formats.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Asif Ahmad and Kashif Majeed, for joining us. That wraps up Sports Extra. It's goodbye for now.